Okay, so here's a quick screencast on what I did to Robot Guy to make him work for you, so that you know what I did. So first thing was to select him, right click, release clipping mask, so that I can get at him. You probably didn't have to do that because it's your file. And then I add a layer 2, and I select the two cut lines that we want, these two guys here, and I move them to that layer, and then I hide that layer. And then I took your guy, selected them all, right click, group, so I got the whole thing, and then make a duplicate of them, which is Control C, Control V, and slide him over here so I can work on him. So essentially what we're going to do is go to Window, Pathfinder. We're going to make an outline of him so that we can trace around the big version, or the detailed version, and create a cut path. So this guy, I'll do Shape Unite, which unites them all together. And then it's up to you if you want to do an offset. I think the offset will probably work better than not, but that's totally your call. But right now, if you do an offset, it'll be wonky. So I'll show you that. If you go to Path, Offset Path, you just preview it because it won't look right. So you can see it's got double lines here and double lines there, which doesn't really work for what we're looking to do. Yeah, down here. So the way to fix that easily is we'll zoom in, go to the rectangle tool, and we'll just draw a little rectangle over top of that path, slide over here, and do the same thing. And then, actually we didn't need to do that guy, did we? And then this one down here, like so, and then another one down here, like so. And then we'll zoom back out, switch back to the selection tool, select the whole thing, and with Pathfinder again, Pathfinder Shape Mode Unite. Now everything looks fine. So when we close Pathfinder and go to Object, Path, Offset Path, this time it's giving us a single congruous path, which is what we want. So I change this, I don't know what its default is, but I changed it to 0.05. So it's a smaller offset. I think the default's pretty big. So once I've done that, I take the original guy in the center and I delete him. And then I'm going to right click, and I guess you don't have to do this step. Well, it'll be funky if you don't, but you can play with it if you want to play with it, whatever. Release compound path so you can get at the internal guys, and take out these internal islands like so. And then we're going to go back over to this guy here, and we're going to drag him so that he's nicely aligned, which it should snap to because it still has the same center because it was just an offset. And we're going to take that outline path and move it to the cut layer so it'll disappear. So if we switch back, you see everything's there but not going to work quite yet. So from here I'll hide the robot and just go back to the cut layer and select the whole kit and caboodle, go back to Pathfinder. This time I'm going to do a divide, which doesn't look like it did what we wanted to do, but it actually did. So we'll right click what it created, ungroup, and then we can delete that path so it goes away. And wrong path. Yeah, that's what I had to do first. Yeah, right click on that path, release compound path so that they're separate paths. Now we can delete that top bit, delete that bottom bit. All that we're left with is this cut line here. That'll not be what we want. And to get rid of that guy, we zoom in, direct selection tool, select that path. We'll see that there's a node right there. That we click on that node and delete the node. That segment goes away. Down here, same deal. That segment goes away. So then if we switch back to the regular selection tool, so we don't do something inadvertent, we'll switch back. Now we've got that guy separated from what will be the cut path. So I would suggest naming these layers here: cut, engrave, like so. It's another 2 separate layers, and then for document setup, to not mess anything up there, I'd edit artboards, and we zoom out, pull this artboard in nice and tight around him. I don't know if you'd plan to do the Shapeoko with this or the laser cutter, but this is what I would do if it was a laser cutter. Let's put it that way. So, coming in here, nice and tight, because this will be the size of the resulting PDF when we export it. And then back to the video mode. So essentially what you can do is turn off the engrave layer, export that as one PDF, switch in, export that as another PDF, this time the engrave layer, and then load them into the laser.lancingmakersnetwork.org, or do whatever you want with them from there. I don't really care, but that's what I would do. If you didn't want to do the offset, you essentially do that same outline thing and divide, and then just end up deleting where the robot's outline ends up here, so that ends up just being on the engrave layer, and then this down here ends up just being, you can probably delete that part of the path when it exports as well. So there you go, that's the project.